What's happening, people? Welcome back to Game Week 2. We're going to be talking FPL. We're going to be talking briefly about what happened last week, and then we're going to be talking about what we've thought about going into week 2. So I wasn't able to create a video earlier on the week because I was abroad, and where I was, the Wi-Fi was dreadful, and I just would not have been capable of uploading it online. So I thought I would just wait until I was back in the UK when I have the comforts of super fast broadband, and I can create this video and get it online as quick as possible, which is this morning. So we go back to last week, the excitement. A lot of things happened. It was the week where the fullbacks really kind of stole the show. Wan-Bissaka, Mendy, Robertson, etc. Luke Shaw. These players that really excelled, and we had, Richarlison showing what he can do at Everton. So let's talk about last week, what happened. I actually got 88 points. I was very chuffed. It's one of the best opening weeks that I've had. I could have possibly got a little bit more, had a bit of luck gone my way. For example, David De Gea, seconds from getting clean sheet, possibly would have got bonus points as well. You can see my backline of Mendy, Robertson and Wan-Bissaka. Master stroke of putting Wan-Bissaka in. I debated that, but I thought, if he plays, good. If he doesn't, whatever. And they all come good for me with assists. Couldn't have got a better week at the back. Possibly Luke Shaw might have got me a couple of extra points, but didn't go for him. Then in the midfield, captain Salah, probably 50% of players on FPL did. Got me the 16 points, which you can't grumble about. Richarlison got me 14, 2 wonderful goals for him. Milivojevic got me just the 3, but he's a long-term play that's just going to sit there as my 4th choice midfielder for probably the whole of the season, just to get me those extra points from the penalties that we would expect him to take, and Zaha to win for him. Okay, then we've got Alexis Sanchez. He just got me the 1 assist in this team. Really wasn't even an assist, but having watched the game, a lot of people are quite negative on Alexis, but I was actually quite positive, because if you watch the game against Leicester, he created a lot of chances. And, in another game, he gets 2, 3, 4 assists, because they were that good. Some of the chances that he created, his teammates weren't just, they were on the right wavelength, So there is the potential there for him. Didn't really get involved with possibly getting goals himself, but he did. He had 1 shot. So, it's for me, it's positive. It's positive. Then we go up front to the attacking 3 that I put in. Didn't really come good for me this week, apart from Tosin, who got me an assist for one of the Richarlison goals. As we spoke about last week, Everton have a particularly good run of fixtures at the start of the season. I think, if memory serves me correctly, they've just got one of the big hitters in the first 5 or 6 weeks. So there's potential points for Everton, and Richarlison and Tosin were obviously clearly the 2 to go for if you wanted big points from Everton for relatively good value, 7 million. So, no goals, but 1 assist. Joshua King, went for him over his teammate Callum Wilson. Callum Wilson came up with, all the points. I really do like Callum Wilson. I rate him. He's one of those players who I think, when we look back on, in 10 years' time, he probably will have, well over 120, 130 Premier League goals. He probably will have signed for another mid-level team, the likes of, just say, an Everton or whatever, and will have been regularly scoring for 10 years in the Prem. I like him. I think he's an outside shot to get an England call-up as well. But anyway, he got the points. My man Joshua King didn't. Had a somewhat quiet game. I'm in an iron about what to do with him, but, he got me the 2 points, and so did Aguero. I mean, everyone's expecting big things from Aguero. Doesn't quite come up with the goods. On the bench, we had Tompkins, who got the bonus for clean sheet bonus. Peltier played, but conceded the goals, I believe. If I remember rightly, they conceded too many goals, so didn't end up with any points. Nelson was my kind of wildcard choice. I thought maybe he might feature in that first game because he'd been playing in pre-season. Didn't work out that way. So anyways, we move on to game week 2, where you can see we've got, the eye-catching fixtures are Everton versus Southampton for Everton. Leicester against Wolves, I think, is one where I think Leicester could do quite well. They played in patches quite well against United. They showed an attacking threat, particularly out wide. We've got Spurs versus Fulham. I think, there's goals there. West Ham v Bournemouth, I think that could be a good 50-50. I think there's goals there. And then obviously the big one, City versus Huddersfield. You'd expect a lot of goals there. And probably the game of the week is Palace versus Liverpool. But I'm expecting Liverpool to win comprehensively there. Mainly because Palace, I got the impression they were dominated by Fulham. Fulham just didn't come up with the goods. They didn't have the end product. Whereas Palace did when they had the few opportunities. So what have we gone for? We've actually we've made one transfer this week, and the transfer is I took a Nelson of Arsenal out for Guendouzi of Arsenal. I just wanted that additional cover on the bench of someone that was probably more likely to be around the team, possibly playing, and a 4.5 million. And as you can see, it's my 4th choice sub. But anyway, so David Hayes in goal, and at the back we've gone for the same 3. Mendy, Robertson and Wan-Bissaka. I'm keeping Wan-Bissaka in, even though, I feel that Liverpool are probably going to turn them over. Then in midfield, Milivojevic, Saha, Sanchez, Richarlison. Salah's got the vice captaincy in this week. Then Tosun, King and Aguero. Aguero getting the captain's armband. When we're looking at the matches, Huddersfield, it looks like, Man City are going to win that probably fairly comfortably. I would expect them to score at least 4 goals in that game. The big question is, will Jesus come in? Will Aguero get rested? This is the quandaries of the FPL manager. We're going with Aguero and we've viced Salah. The only problem is that even if Jesus starts, Aguero will probably come on for 5 or 10 minutes at the end, so it will completely ruin the captaincy there. I mean, it might be, I was thinking about it, FPL, there might be something to consider, something to do with the captains where you've got like an additional option in the captaincy, where if your captain is benched, it goes directly to the vice. You have a choice. That might be something quite good to consider in the future. But anyway, so, only the one transfer really isn't going to affect my team. I've gone for Peltier as the first choice sub because home to Newcastle, Cardiff could edge out a 0-0 or something like that, a clean sheet at home against Newcastle, who are, a bit of misfits. So there is potential points there if, just say, Wan-Bissaka doesn't play, or, Mendy, or some of these players are rested, and then Tompkins as the second. So, as I say, it was quite a good week last week. 88 points, very happy with that. So then let's look at my second team. My second team, just briefly, is the team where I'm going when I decided that I was going to emphasis on the defense. Okay, so this is my second team, and we've got 73 points. Now, Ederson got me the clean sheet bonus. Robertson, Mendy, and Van Aanholt all getting me amazing points. I had Bellerin, who just got me the 1. Now, my 5th choice defender, who I actually had selected into the my team, was Kieran Trippier, and he did not play. Very, very disappointing to see that he didn't play. I think there would have been, obviously points for him, but he didn't play. So actually, what happened is that Fernandinho got transferred in off the bench, which was heartbreaking when we go down and see who else was on my bench. But anyway, we had Salah, and the interesting thing is that when I was tweaking this team before Game Week 1 deadline, I actually changed my captain, as we'll see in a minute, and it kind of came off okay in the end. But obviously, I didn't captain Salah, so I just got the 8 points. Pascal Gross got me 1. Now, this is also a bit of a heartbreak because when I logged in, he had dropped in value, and I was planning to take him out. He dropped in value. But anyway, then we got up front. Aubameyang just got me the 2. Rondon got me the 1. And my captain, Jamie Vardy, coming off the bench against Manchester United and getting that cheeky goal right at the death, gets me the captain bonus, which allows me to get 73 points. Now, as I said, Kieran Trippier on the bench, who got subbed out for Fernandinho. But as you can see, my third choice midfield, my third choice sub, Neves. Neves of Wolves. Assist and a goal. Bonus. Very disappointing. If he'd been able to come in, you know, you're looking at another 9 points. We're up to 82 points, which would have been another amazing week. But anyway, so transfers in for this week. I've done one. I've taken out Pascal Gross, who, as I say, dropped down to 6.9. And I've put in Richarlison. I thought, you know, in this setup, 5 at the back and effectively 5 strikers in this setup that I've got, you know, you can't really go wrong. I know I considered bringing in James Maddison, the home game for Leicester. I think there's going to be good things for him. And as I said in some of my previous videos, he was in every single one of the 50 or 60 drafts that I did James Maddison, but didn't make the 2 that made the final cut. But we've brought in Richarlison, so we've effectively got like a 5-5 formation here. You know, so it'll be interesting to see whether, you know, Rondon can actually get the points against Cardiff. Vardy at home to Wolves. I'm actually expecting, you know, Wolves got a good start, but I think Leicester will turn them over this week. Captain Vardy, just got high hopes for him this week. Then we've got Aubameyang against Chelsea. You know, I've got him in there for the long term. You know, as we said, we've got that fantastic back line there that is just capable of getting a lot of points every single week. As I said in one of the initial video about this back line, I think is capable of getting around about 40 points just from that back 6 alone, without us even considering, you know, the front 5. So there we go. That's the interesting thing. I've actually changed Neves to the first sub this week just to, you know, see how it goes. But that was my second team. Looking at the first team, that's what I've gone for. I've gone for De Gea, Mendy, Robertson, Wan-Bissaka, Milivojevic, Salah, Sanchez, Richarlison, Tosun, King and Aguero as my captain. Now, what do you think? Go down in the comment section below. Let me know. Tell me whether I've made mistakes with my substitutions or my transfers. And tell me what you've gone for. We'll see you next week.